Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I want to go through a couple examples of how to solve two-way frequency tables. It's just This is one of the concepts that you'll see on the Regents. Once you see a couple of them, they're not too terribly difficult. At least the ones where they give you the numbers. So let me go. A two-way frequency table basically has two categories. One category is going to be on top, it's going to be represented by columns, and the other category is going to be represented by rows. Um, every category should have totals. Now, all of the categories should have totals. That's a very key idea. And then we're going to use some of the numbers out of those categories to find percent. Now, percent just literally means divide by 100. So if you have 30%, that's 30 over 100. If you have 45%, that's 45 over 100. If you have 12.7%, that's just 12.7 divided by 100, right? If you have what percent, that literally just means what, that's the x divided by 100. Now this is important because every one of these questions we're going to use it. All right, so let's just jump into this and let's show you. Let me show you. All right, again, here are the things that you need to. Every time you should make sure that all the rows and columns have totals, or basically all the categories have totals, right? If they don't have totals, then you have to go through and total them up. Okay. Now, the second thing that you need, you're going to look at the categories, the two categories that you need, and you're going to find where they intersect. And when you find where they intersect, you are going to use that number in your proportion, and it's going to go top right. Now, and I'm going to show you that exactly in a second. And then the last thing is you've got to pay attention to the word of. So when you take a percent, you're always taking percent of something, right? And whatever that of is, whatever that category is, we're going to need a total, and that's going to go on the bottom right. All right, so now let me show you with an example, and hopefully this will make more sense. It said a survey stopped men and women at random to ask them where they purchase groceries at a local grocery store or online. So the category is where do people shop, at the store or online? And then the other category was what type of shoppers do we have? And we have men and women. All right. So now the question says what percent? Now, as soon as you see that, that's going to be X over 100, always. All right. And then it says of the women surveyed shopped online. So the very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to say women. So you're going to have a category. So that's one category. And you just draw a horizontal line there. And then the other category is shop online. So we're going to change this to red, and we're going to draw a vertical line through online. Now, where they intersect, that is 8. That is going to go on the top right. Okay, that's it. Now, the second part is when you do that, you got to look at the of. So we want of the total number of women that they surveyed, and that would be 44, and that goes on the bottom here. Now, once you get this equation, you're just going to solve for x. And the way you do that is you're going to multiply both sides by 100, and 100 goes away, and you're just going to have x equals 8 over 44 times of 100. So let me grab the calculator and show you exactly how to do that. So you're just going to go control divide. It's going to be 8 over 44. And then you're going to multiply times 100. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this to kind of show you. Now, you're going to get this fraction. Now, we don't want a fraction. We want a decimal. All right. So the way you do that is you just have to make sure that one of these three numbers, the 8, the 44, or the 100, has a decimal in it. I'm going to put it at the end of the 100. So that means 18.18%. That's how many women shop online. So if we go back to my iPad, they want us to round it to the whole number. So that's just going to be 18%. And that would be your answer for this one. All right, let's go. Let's do another one. All right, here we have another one. Okay, in this one, they want to know what percent. So that's going to be X over 100. And then it says of the 8th graders play guitar. So we're going to go 8th graders, going to draw a horizontal line there. And then we're going to go to the other category, that's guitar. And you can see that there are 18 8th graders who play guitar. So that's going to go here on the top right. And then remember we need the total number of 8th graders. And we have that total here. So it's going to be 18 over 67. And then we're just going to multiply that by 100. So here we go. 18 over 67, 18 divided by 67. And then we're going to multiply that times 100. I put a decimal so we can get a decimal. So it says about 26.86%. Now they want us to round this to the nearest whole number. So you go to the 6, look to the right, 5 or above, give it a shove. So our answer is going to be 27%. So we will put 27% here. Got it? All right, let's go. Another one. Now this says they surveyed a group of adults and youth and asked them if they prefer reading books, printed or on paper or electronic books. So the category is, let me move this over a little bit. The category is book preference, printed or electronic, and then the other category is book readers, and they grouped them by youth and adult. All right, so now, but notice this table does not have totals, so we have to do that. So 28 plus 40 is going to be 68, 37 plus 38 is going to be 75, 28 plus 37 is going to be 65, and then 40 plus 38 is going to be 78. Now, one of the things you guys should do for checking is you should make sure that these two add up to the same total, and they do. It's going to be 143. Okay, so now we're ready to go. So it says what percent, so again, it's going to be X over 100 of the youth surveyed prefer reading electronic books. So one of our categories is youth, and the other category is electronic. So we have 40 youth who prefer electronic, and we have a total number of youth at 68. So we're just going to do 40. We're going to do 40 divided by 68. So 40 divided by 68. And then we're going to multiply that times 100, put a decimal. And so it says 58.8%. They want us to round this to the nearest whole number. Look at the first 8, 5 above, give this a shove. So it's going to be 59. So we come here and we say 59%. All right. Now I got one more, and then I'm going to end this. So what they're doing is they've taken a random sample of students, and they surveyed them to find out how much screen time they have each week. And screen time is basically what they spend online, social media, watching TV, playing videos, looking at their phones. Any of those things is considered screen time. And what they wanted to know is, how does that relate to the grade average? Was their grade above or below 80? So those are the two categories, the amount of screen time. The other category is their grade. All right, so what we want to know is what percent of the students who spend less than 4 hours a week reported a grade average above 80. So first thing, our first category is less than 4 hours a week. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to draw a line through that category. My other category is they scored above 80, so it's going to come here, and our number is 8. So that's going to go top right, and we want the total number of students who spend less than 4 hours. That would be 17. So that goes here. So again, we're just going to take the calculator, going to go 8 divided by 17, and then multiply that times 100. And that's our percent. It is 47.05%. Now this one, they want us to round to the tens place. So you go to the 0, look to the right, 5 or above, give it a shove. So it's going to be 47.1. So if you go over to it's going to be 47.1%. That's your answer. Got it? Now, let me go and recap this. Remember, every category has to have totals. Basically, every row, every column has to have totals. If they aren't there, you need to put them there. Other thing, you're going to find the intersection of the totals. Whatever the intersection is, that's going to go top right. All right. And then you have to look at the of category. Whatever that of category is, we need the total for that category. And that goes on the bottom right. And then you just solve it algebraically. All right. So that's all you're doing. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you have some questions, let me know. I'm going to stop this and I'm going to post.